Hey everyone, and welcome back to the famous Cinci podcast. So today is a very special episode because we're doing it in person. Everyone's at my house right now. So we're joined by Strikewind, my host. Synactive unfortunately couldn't be here because he's like on the other side of the planet. But we have two special guests today. Hyperbola.
Hello.
You might know him from his silent Clubstep progress or some other stuff. And Cinci.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So we're all around this one microphone. We've stacked. Hyperbola brought his microphone and we stacked it on a bunch of
bookcases,
boxes.
Yeah.
And there might be some directional issues. I'm not sure, but
I think it's fine.
Just go with it.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to address, which some of the viewers might have noticed, is the fact that my GD account got hacked. So let me just give some context on what happened. Basically, one day I wake up and I have about 500 DMs on Discord from people just being like, "What happened to Sari Never Clear?" And I'm like, what are they talking about? So I go on GD and it turns out someone hacked my account and they changed Sari Never Clear into a free level. They changed my name into a bunch of W's or something. And I made a joke about it being the amount of W's I get on a daily basis. But anyway, so I managed to get the account back pretty quickly. It was fine, but maybe this is a warning for some of you that haven't done this, but basically what happened was 5 years ago or something, there was a Team Hacks data breach and everyone's passwords got leaked. And I never changed my password, so someone somehow got access to the leak and they managed to find my password. And yeah, so if you haven't changed it since 5 years, I would probably recommend you do that now, just in case. But yeah, anyway, with that out of the way, let's go to the ritual question of the podcast.
Oh boy.
Towards Hyperbola. Hyperbola, will I beat Death Corridor?
In this timeline, in this universe, because
Yeah.
Many Worlds theory says yes, you will beat Death Corridor in one universe. You may have already fluked it already in one.
Yeah.
Theoretically, yes, you can beat Death Corridor.
Oh,
Even in
okay,
its
but
current state. I mean, in this
Yeah,
universe,
will I-
theoretically,
It's a bit of a
yes.
yes or no, yeah?
well,
Theoretically, yes.
obviously, theoretically, a monkey could do it, but
yes.
but what will I do it? Do you think it is more likely than not that I will do it? Is it above a 50% chance?
You seem pretty determined. I don't know about it in its current state. You might just need to get better. But if you commit to it, you could probably do it. I can say that.
Fair enough. Okay. So I'm gonna count that as a yes.
what are the counts now?
I think. Okay. Last
I
time.
cannot answer that.
Last time.
to decide.
It became 5-4 because of Euphem, and now it's 6-4.
6-4.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the current state of Death Corridor might be different. So should we just discount all the answers because so much information?
So now
Yeah.
it's
I
impossible to
did.
decide
I did
one.
buff Death Corridor.
Yes, no,
I'll get into why I did that a little later, but first, let's talk about something outside of GD. Cinci, I don't know, he hit his head or something, and he really just wants to talk about science, don't you?
Yeah, I love science. I think we all love a bit of science, don't we?
Okay, so why don't we talk about the recent James Webb telescope that got launched?
Yeah, James Webb. So commonly known as the successor to Hubble Space Telescope.
Thank you, Cinci.
It's look, I mean, it's been in development for the last 25 years. So essentially, as soon as Hubble launched, they started making the replacement straight away. It mainly looks at light in the infrared spectrum.
Yeah.
And for those of you that know a little bit about infrared and all that sort of stuff, and about redshifting, you know that most
Trust
light.
I had the first part.
Yeah, no. So there's loads of light. Light is in all spectrums in our universe. The infrared is particularly interesting, and James Webb aims to look in that region. And Michio Kaku was quoted saying that he believes we will find or detect alien life with this telescope. So it's definitely quite a big deal. With complicated technology, launch on Christmas Day to make it even more special. And,
seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I know, and you know, a whole team given such an amazing result after 25 years of hard work. But yeah, no, James Webb. You know, well, I'm hopeful for the future, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Do you think we will see the aliens mowing their lawn, or maybe getting a hot dog?
Well, I mean, if anything, so the chances are if they were to look at us, say let's say they had James Webb, they'd probably see us, not us as humans, they'd probably see the dinosaurs, or species that
or our species on extinction.
Right,
exactly.
Because light travels very.
Well, I mean, it depends where the aliens were.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
when
we view
light
aliens,
years away.
yeah, when we view whatever alien, if we do view some sort of alien civilization, we'd be viewing them many years
Wait,
ago.
would they be seeing the dinosaurs in like 4K or like really blurry, or just the Earth?
It depends on
Probably
how fast their civilization develops.
Well, with telescopes that we have today, things like determining, so for example, when we look at stars, we can determine the mass of stars. We can look at the composition of the star, just you know, what kind of phase it's in, the size, all from from the light that it emits, right? Because we know a lot about it.
Cinci, I heard you got a B in astronomy.
Oh
you
wow!
got a D in astronomy. Oh,
I did. So I should shut up and ask Strikewind. Didn't Strikewind get an A star? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, long story.
Long story.
To my understanding,
kind of short. Come on.
To my understanding, the James Webb telescope is like trying to look past where Hubble looked. Like famously, Hubble, the scientists were like trying to aim at the dimmest part of the sky, saying like, "There's nothing there." They took a picture and they saw like hundreds of galaxies, and it's called like the Hubble Deep Field. And then now we're thinking, if we see like beyond this using infrared, we can like see particles that were there when the Big Bang happened, or just after basically the universe became transparent. So now the reason why it took so long to build it is because it's incredibly complicated. Like people are still stressing right now about the unfolding of the telescope. I know that the sun shield unfolded and it might have also tensed. I'm not sure.
It's the size of a tennis court.
Yeah.
The sun shield.
It's also like only like a few micrometers thick. I'm not sure.
Exactly.
But
that's crazy.
Essentially, like it's just because that thermal.
It's meant to cool, right? Because the sun would heat it up.
Thermal radiation, it cannot happen. They've got like a cooling system which is based on it's based on a speaker. They cool the spacecraft using like a speaker, like a loudspeaker, because a loudspeaker makes like a standing wave, and at one end there's like no activity, and at the other end there's going to be like an antinode with little high activity, right? They just put like a heat sink between the part with low activity and high activity, and then essentially this transfers heat out of the spacecraft using like waves.
I think we can all tell that Strikewind got an A star and I got a B just from that sort of 2 minutes.
There's another a similar type of project called like the Sun Shield. We've basically it's a telescope with a circular disc in front of the sun to basically block the sun, but because of the diffraction, there's like a bright spot in the middle of the circle because of quantum mechanics, and that's why they have to make it like in a petal shape. They can't make a circle because circles would basically have some kind of interference in that regard. Anyway, I wanted to say something else as well about this telescope. So previously, when Hubble launched, it had a mistake. It was like uncalibrated by like a few nanometers or something, and all the pictures became blurry. So they sent like our mission to like fix it just by like turning a screw or something.
Wow.
James Webb is launched pre-blurred, so it's blurry when it's launched, but they have like a calibration phase. They've got like, don't know, it takes like a long time. Essentially, like they've got like the 18 motors. The motors like warped the discs themselves, the beryllium discs. So that actually the mirrors were like flat in the beginning, and then the motors like pull on the beryllium to like curve the actual mirror. And after a long process, it will be calibrated.
I mean, that's 25 years of work right there, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't repair this telescope, so they have to do it with this process.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, Cinci, I kind of wanted to know though, when are you verifying innards?
I've no idea. I'm a bit lost here.
Well, on
that disappointing note.
Maybe when Micros beats it first. Maybe.
Yeah. What do you think of Micros' progress?
I am a bit confused at the moment.
Right. Next thing.
Okay. Fine. In that case, let's talk about why I buffed Death Corridor. But before I get into that, first let's talk about the fact that Sakupin Circles got verified.
Oh yes.
Yeah, now that that's out of the way, the reason I buffed Death Corridor is because I want to make sure that it's still top 1. Yeah, that's it. So if anyone was confused, oh, were you masochistic? Yes, I am, but also, yeah, I want to make sure it's top 1.
Don't you think that this is like the same path that Inners took? I mean,
someone literally commented that on my community post, but
Okay.
like,
do you want to change your mind now about whether Kugel will be Death Corridor?
no, don't do that.
No.
Okay.
Pressure. He's like about to go
Death
through.
Corridor's bad. Kugel is mad.
All right, well, enough about me, because like this is not even the podcast about me. This is about Hyperbola.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not the famous
Oh
Hyperbola.
yeah, it is my
but-
episode, I guess.
Yeah, it's your episode. So
It's my episode.
let's talk about things related to you.
Mhm.
Oh, why is it silent Clubstep not there? Okay, anyway.
Okay. Well.
So I don't know why, but yeah, let's start off with the
Oh,
thing you're
boy.
most notable for, which is silent Clubstep.
Oh yes. What about it?
So yeah, well, okay. So you were the first person to actually start making progress on it.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, no, I mean-
did a lot of good stuff.
I know, but like I mean, like you sort of
Like
made
the
it
first major.
main. Yeah,
Like I put it in my Discord bio. Like I'm not afraid to tell people that I was the one who made it an upcoming top 1.
Yeah.
Or an upcoming
so like
level.
because before you, I mean, people did runs on it and stuff,
Yeah,
but before
like,
you, it was still
came
considered
fans.
like this
It's a
impossible
pipe
level,
dream, yeah. It was a
Impo-
pipe dream.
right? But
Mhm.
you sort of made it.
Well,
like,
there was a nerf date that happened. I always get this question all the time. Is it a nerfed version of the level? It is a nerfed version of the level. It's the official version because Nautilus nerfed it
yeah, he updated the
in
level.
summer 2020, and I started playing the level then because I thought, oh, it's nerfed, and it works better on the physics. Let's see what I can do.
Okay, so I'm kind of curious, what drew you to silent Clubstep? Like, what made you want to start grinding it out and making
I don't
progress?
know. I was trying to get better at the game. I think before Silent Clubstep, I was playing Kinos. Then I saw, Ice Cave was one of the first people who I met in the community. And Ice Cave worked with Silent because they're good friends. And I saw Ice Cave upload that Silent Clubstep got nerfed, so it would work with 2.1 physics. So I wanted to go try it out, and maybe I could get a skill boost from it. Well, since the majority of the hard levels nowadays use wave, and Silent Clubstep doesn't have any wave, you could say I didn't really get too much better at the game in some of the most important aspects.
Yeah.
Because the only like really hard chip is
The first
not
chip.
very long.
Yeah.
And then there's no wave at all.
I mean, it's a pretty unbalanced
But-
level, but I
but
guess
the-
it fits with
yeah.
the challenge skill set.
The funniest thing though is on Seri Never Clear, which is a level that exactly fits that skill set, I was progressing the same quickness as I am on Erebus right now. I'm not even joking. I got to the drop and a good run on Erebus in around the same amount of attempts as I got list percent and did 69 to 100.
So
on
you
Seri
heard
Never
it here
Clear.
first. Move down Seri Never Clear to Erebus.
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's nowhere near Bloodlust.
Okay, well, outside of, like playing the game, you've had a project that sort of stuck out to me a bit, which was your Arduino thing. You bought it. You bought a D, right?
A D.
But
I
you
did
ma-
not bought D.
Well, no, you bought it like 25% of D, but you made like a literal robot.
Yeah, I made it.
That played.
It's
D.
really, really bad right now. Like that 25% on D was pretty much a fluke.
Okay, but it's still like the best GD physical robot that has ever been made. Because the previous best, what did it do? Like Stereo Madness?
It's probably the hardest level to beat is Polargeist, but I think my model could probably do Clubstep or Windy Landscape.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to develop it any further right now, and I can't really say much about specs and stuff because I told Vinny and Paco and Marcus or Telepracity that I wouldn't say too much about this
Yeah.
robot. But yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I'm updating them, but you can easily catch someone with this.
Yeah,
robot.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's not really like a great cheating method, at least not right now. But
it's
who
really
knows?
really bad.
Maybe like
restart based.
Yeah.
You have to hit you have to make the robot hit the restart key, and the timer will be messed up at least while I'm writing the script. So I'm playing like 60 attempts on D in like 10 minutes.
I'm guessing the servo makes a noise.
Yeah, the servo makes a noise.
I've literally
too.
called with him while he was like making it, and I would just hear like.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it would be really hard to hide. Like if this ever became a mainstream cheating method, it would be in like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
or
it would
something.
take years of development to
So
actually
how did you? Because you don't know how to
and
code.
expensive servers.
You said you don't-
Arduino's really easy to pick up. You have
okay.
you have a void loop and void setup, and the servo's really easy to operate. You just make it turn degrees with a function you can copy paste and delay the inputs with a delay function. It's really easy. I could probably decode in a day, maybe 2 or 3.
by manually timing it or something. Or?
Yeah, by having to manually time it. I'd bought with like ZBots decode on a copy, and I'd record it in 60 FPS and 0.5 speed at 120 FPS in game, and I'd just get all of the frames and stuff. I don't know if it would be able to do anything super precise. I could always try Cataclysm or Ice Carbon Diablo X, but that's pretty. I think that's a little far-fetched if it can't do 25% on D at the moment.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
consistently.
That's
So-
fine. I mean, it's still a cool project.
Yeah, it's cool.
We were talking
Let's see how it
about
goes.
the methods in GD of doing like botting or whatever. But I was also talking about, because I know a bit about checking for illegitimate like images that were photoshopped. So you guys look at videos and audio, right?
Yeah.
And I look at like images. And so there's this thing called like image forensics. Essentially, this basically is a tool that catches things that would not be visible to like your ordinary eyes by manipulating images and doing transformations in order for you to see things. So, for example, when someone's putting like an object into another scene, right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that they don't change. They don't change the metadata, and that this metadata could have info about the original image. There could be an original thumbnail in the image that you might catch, like the unphotoshopped version as well. If looking at the image itself, someone might forget to make the contrast exactly the same, or the noise, or the compression. So you could check for like JPEG compression sweep, level sweep, luminance, principal component analysis. Essentially, like even if you make a photoshopped image and you pass it to someone who knows what they're doing, they're not just gonna look at it and say, oh, this looks real or this looks fake. They're gonna pass it through some softwares, and they're gonna basically use like these forensic tools to check if something is legitimate or illegitimate. Same way in Geometry Dash, you go frame by frame in every video to like check what's happened, or the spectrogram or whatever. And I've heard there's also like AI tools that will detect like artifacts from the Photoshop smear, like liquefy effect. So basically creates a heat map of like most likely smear, and like wherever it is liquefied, it will like glow. So anyone that wants to like make their body look thinner or whatever, basically glowing where their waist is.
But yeah, would you be able to apply that to GD in any way?
GD used to be like spliced, I think, but it's uncommon these days. But I think with the thing about splicing is you're mixing two different videos that might have been encoded differently.
Yeah, because Shadowplay encodes your video differently like every single time. Like it has a variable frame rate, it has variable microphone delay, and it's super closed source. So
You could probably even figure it out by like the metadata.
Yeah, you could probably if those things weren't obvious enough, like the click delay and the variable FPS rate, then you could definitely.
There was news that TikTok was making like a streaming thing. Someone checked like the source code, and it was actually a ripped off illegal copy of OBS that they were launching.
Oh.
Yeah, it downloads OBS and then uses that to do a live stream.
Damn. Okay.
Oh my god, it's kind of like the whole slob situation where you're getting paid features where you could get them for free on normal OBS.
Oh, one more thing in terms of news recently. So it's like the new year now, and the year is 2022, which means more computer glitches. So Microsoft Exchange had an issue basically with the way that it stored dates. it stored dates as like a long integer or something, and in the year, month, day, like hour, minutes format, and the maximum like power of 2, like the power of 2 which stores the maximum integer is something like 2 1
2 to the
4,
32.
yeah, but like
Or
the
2
actual
to the
number,
48.
the actual number, the maximum
Well,
number is like.
2048 is a power of 2. It's 2 to the 11.
No, it is like a really big number, but it starts with the numbers 2 1 4 7 something, right?
I see.
So
Yeah.
the largest date, if you're doing year first for whatever reason, is 2021. So as soon as 2022 happened, there was an overflow, right? And everyone's things started crashing, and people were calling it the Y22K bug. Now this is like a reminder to never store anything as a number unless you're ready to do arithmetic at it. Never store a phone number, never store a postcode, anything as a number. You store it as a string or something else.
Yeah.
I think my dad had to set all of the update all of the computers or something in his workspace because it was 1999 and all of them would tick to 2000 and it would break the computers.
Oh damn. By the way, I kind of want to go back to the death corridor thing for a bit because I want to get Cinci's take on it. You know, Cinci, you kind of dropped the ball with innards because you buffed it too much, right? And people are starting to worry about that with me at DC. I added 10 new frame perfects. I buffed some of the ship parts. So what is your opinion on me buffing Death Corridor?
I think you're taking the piss.
Okay. Well,
You heard it here first from Cinci himself.
okay. Anyway, so back to Hyperbola. There's a really funny story I want to talk about. This happened, was it last winter?
It was not last winter, it was this summer.
Oh, this summer.
Or
Yeah, okay.
Summer 21. Yeah.
So when I came back home, on the plane, I kind of forgot my wallet. So
Wow.
yeah, so
Oh my god.
so I forgot my wallet on the plane, and everything. And you know, I even went to Lost and Found and stuff. It was lost. It was gone. I lost all my IDs and shit. It was annoying, but one of the things I lost was the keys to my luggage. Right?
You have keys to your luggage?
God.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's
Is it a TSA?
Yeah, it's a
No,
TSA.
just a
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
It's
You have to
TSA.
lock in a
like
key.
yeah, you lock like the you know like the zipper in the
Exactly.
Yeah, the
Oh.
zipper,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you put a TSA
Yeah.
lock on
yeah.
it.
So
not very
my
secure.
key was in the wallet, and that was gone. So
First of all, why did you remove your wallet from your pants?
It just
I
fell
didn't-
out.
I didn't,
He
yeah,
wears
I was-
sweatpants
I was-
everywhere,
yeah,
and then
I-
it just falls out of his pocket.
exactly, yeah. I mean,
I
I'm
have
wearing,
zips on my sweatpants right now. That's what you need.
I do have sweatpants with zips, but the ones I was wearing on the plane did not, and it just fell out of my pocket.
Well, life lesson then. There we go.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, this is a very interesting thing. So many years ago, I had a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
BlackBerry, meant to be the safest phone at that time.
Yeah.
I was on a plane, and it was an Emirates flight, so they
Uh-huh.
they always stress, and they by the way, after the flight they always check the aircraft for this kind of stuff. So I was
Mhm.
very surprised they didn't pick up your wallet.
Yeah.
But I put my phone in the the sort of compartment in front of me.
Yeah.
Put my phone there. I was very young at the time. This was not 12.
Yeah.
Again, I left it like you did. And I'm in immigration. Luckily, I was in a country where it's like the flight that came in. Obviously, I flew from a very kind of large
Yeah.
airport. That was like the biggest flight of the day. The airport was quite small at the location that I was flying to, which meant that it's all relaxed. I could
Mhm.
I could walk back up immigration and go straight into the plane and
Yeah.
pick my stuff
Yeah.
up. That's how I got lucky, really. They called up because I was a kid. Obviously, all my phone numbers are stored as
Yeah.
mummy, daddy, that kind of stuff, right?
Mhm.
So they called up daddy
Mhm.
on the phone, which is obviously
Yeah.
my dad. And my dad wasn't with me on this trip, so he was like,
Mhm.
my mum was. So he was like, what's going on here? Then he called up my mum, and then my mum found out that they'd obviously tried to call my dad, to try and find out what was going on.
Yeah.
And so literally just left immigration, walked right back up the way I came, walked straight
Yeah.
into the plane because the jet bridge was still there,
Mhm.
and the cabin crew were holding my phone there.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
They didn't let me go
Yeah.
back when I lost my wallet.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I was at a place where it was all kind of
More
chill,
lenient.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm really surprised though. Emirates are. Did you probably fly on Emirates?
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised that they, when they were doing their final inspection, they didn't find your wallet. Did you have any cash?
Yeah, I did.
Did
Honestly.
they reimburse you for that? Because,
No.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, so now I have my luggage, but I don't have my key. So basically I just had my suitcase, but I wasn't able to open it.
Yeah.
And I told the story to Hyperbola, who at the time was like walking back from school or something.
I wasn't walking back, or you had told me this the day before or in the morning, and then I had to go to school, which is like 3 kilometers away from his house.
Yeah, so it was like on the way basically.
So I got dropped off at school, and I had taken my lockpick set.
Okay, yeah.
Here's
This guy has a lockpick set.
Yeah,
here's the catch.
First time I see him, he says he's got a lockpick set.
Here's the catch. I have a lockpick set that I got for a Secret Santa one.
He's
year.
into lockpicking.
Yes, it's quite fun, but
Yeah.
I tend to stick
Drop him a
within
message if you
I
know.
tend to stick within legal boundaries. I don't go picking everybody's locks or stealing anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a lockpick set, and I've learned how to pick a few basic locks, and knowing that TSA locks are supposed to be opened with a master key, and they're usually very, very weak. You're only they're only so that the TSA or anyone else who needs to can just open them. They're supposed to be really easy to break in. So I brought my lockpick set along with me to the time that I had to get dropped off at school, so I could pick up documents for a test or something. And then I asked Kugel, since he lived really close to my school, if I could just walk over and break open his luggage, and he's like, okay, sure. So I just walk over there and went to work, and I cracked it open in a couple minutes, which is way too long.
Yeah, but yeah, so he managed to like use his lockpick set to open my luggage. And
So I mean, do
Yeah,
you know how
that's
it works,
cool.
the lockpick set? What kind of devices did you have?
I think I actually have it in my bag
Yeah,
or
let's have a
something.
look. Let's have
Yeah,
a look.
let's-
Did the lockpicks ever break like in Skyrim?
No, I've taken pretty good care of it.
I think if you're like really forceful with it, they might break.
Yeah.
Do you have a lock here? What do you? So after also
I think the lockpick set should have like.
I don't have my practice locks.
After
with me, no.
after the lock's been picked,
Yeah.
you then use that lock again.
The lock? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it doesn't break the lock. It's
Yeah,
not a...
I still use the same one.
Yeah.
Which two do you use?
Um, So there are lots of tools here. I don't think many people can see it. Maybe I'll take a snapshot and
Yeah, I
we
can
put
probably
in the
edit it in or
podcast.
something.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what these are for. I mainly use rakes. I mainly use rakes or hooks.
Can I have a little?
Yeah, you can. They're metal, and I have 5 different tension wrenches here. So how it works is you put one of these ends of the tension wrench into the side of the lock that doesn't have any picks, and you have to apply torque, because when you put a key in a lock, the jagged end sets all the pins to a certain height,
Yeah.
and then you need to apply torque. So the tension wrench, what you do is you stick it in the lock, and then you give it a light bit of tension so it can act as the torque for the key. And then
This is so like the
And then
pins.
you try any of these. What are these called?
This is a hook.
The-
All of these things are
the-
called
the
picks,
torque,
but these are hook.
The torque makes the pins stay up when the like.
Yeah,
on
the
tumbler.
torque allows the pins to set as well, because if you press a pin down without any torque with a hook or with a rake,
You just come back.
yeah, it'll just pop back up because there's nothing to tense it up or hold it down.
Yeah.
So you would just let it give it a bit of tension, and then you would go front to back and try to set all the pins so they can align, and then the lock will just open up. It's really fun and satisfying, but I haven't gotten to a point where I can pick more complicated locks with advanced security measures like security pins or anything like that. I'm really casual.
I always thought that like the fact that when you put tension in a tumbler and it sets the pin
Yeah.
in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was due to like a manufacturing like degree of error, because if you have if you like think about like an ideal situation, like in a computer universe, right?
Yeah.
These pins would stop the tumbler from moving at all when you tried to put tension, and that would not let the pins stay up.
Well, the pins have a they have a cut in there. So pins come in 2 parts. There's the bottom half of the pin, and there's the top half of the pin. And where the lock is allowed to turn is when all of the pins are lined up so that the top can separate from the bottom.
There's like a cut, right? And
There's a cut on all the pins.
Line up.
Yeah, when all the pins align, you can turn the lock. Yeah, I don't think we have any locks here, do we?
It'd be very fascinating to see though. Lockpicking is a funny one. We all, particularly members of my family, we love locking luggage, or we think we're, if we don't lock our luggage, it's going to be stolen.
Yeah.
And yet, it's so easy to unlock, which is why you should sort of have the attitude of, I'm not going to fly with anything that isn't very valuable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, clothes and a few other things, right?
Yeah, I never take anything that valuable.
Well, I don't think many people would bring their lockpick set into the airport.
Is this allowed or not allowed?
If I had to bring this anywhere, I'd put it in not on my carry-on luggage.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not putting this thing in my
I don't think they would allow it anyway because it's like sharp.
Yeah.
So have you guys
It's metal. It's not like it's not blade sharp. You could probably cut someone, but you can't really stab someone with this thing.
Well, if you're in London, you can stab anyone with anything, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once my scissors got confiscated.
Yeah, because those
or
are
like,
scissors.
I-
They're made for cutting things.
Made for cutting paper, not people.
I'm actually from quite a relaxed country. I actually accidentally went through airports with like a Swiss Army knife in my with me.
What?
and then they found it and they were like, "Oh yeah, take it away."
Well,
and I was like, "Okay, I'll just put it in my luggage before checking it." And I forgot to do it.
Well, do you know, I flew a couple of weeks ago, and I had a full bottle of perfume that I got as a gift.
Yeah.
And it was still in the bag, and they're very strict about liquids. So I went through the machine and got called to the side. They started searching the whole thing. They took out this bottle of perfume, and then they just sort of, they're like, "Oh, next time just put it in." I thought they'd confiscate the bottle, obviously, because that's what you think that's safety, right? Turns out they said, "All right, take it and go." So, and I was in a pretty strict country as well, so. Airport security is a funny one.
I have two funny stories about airport security.
Yeah.
So one year, I think it was the last time I went to the United States. I was in one of the airports, and so I am an avid gamer, and I brought my Switch dock and my GameCube controller and my HDMI's, and I all put them in my carry-on. And then when it goes through X-ray, it looks like a bunch of wires in a box. So I got pulled over for airport security because it looked like I had some sort of
like
weird
an
device
IED.
in my bag. Something like a bomb or an
Guys,
EMP.
this is exactly like Harold would come out. This is great. Yeah.
The in some countries they actually for some reason the police use divining rods. They're not even electronic. They're just like sticks, right? Usually you use them to find water in the desert, but randomly these police have been sold, or these guards have been sold, and it's not quite a rich country. It's not that rich, so so these police are walking around with these rods, thinking it will work. It's supposed to detect metal, but because of all the false false negatives or whatever that they're getting, false positives. They basically come up with another excuse, which is that it detects metal and perfume. So anytime you're going through, right, and then the guards checking your car with this rod, they will ask you if you've got any suspicious metal components, and you say no, it's just my laptop or whatever, and then they ask you have you got any perfume, and you say yes, and they're like, okay, you can go.
Okay.
I think I have one more funny airport story.
What is it?
So, I'm not sure if many people know this about me, but I'm okay with publicly admitting I have Asperger's. So social situations are not always the easiest thing to interpret in my book. So this was all the way back when I was in 3rd grade. We were on the rush coming back from we were about to get on our flight back to the States in Ireland, and we were already in a rush. So back then I wasn't really allowed to drink caffeinated beverages, but since I was traveling abroad, I was allowed to have stuff like Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola. So so we go through airport security, and I had needed to throw out my drink, and they were like, "Do you have any liquids?" And I was like, "Nope, my dad made me throw out the Coke earlier."
No way!
That is great.
And they pull us aside when we were about to miss our flight, and they started asking us a bunch of questions.
That's like the characters get caught in like Breaking
It's
Bad. They're like, they say
it's
something.
comedically bad.
No,
That's
I-
comedically bad timing.
Tell you what,
I
so-
didn't even know what cocaine was.
So airport security.
That's what you
right?
say. It's like I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is.
Airport
What is that?
security, in my opinion, right, airport security sometimes
Yeah.
jump to conclusions. My father was travelling once with a tennis racket,
Uh-huh.
and he was using air France. He flew through France,
Yeah.
and he obviously with things like tennis rackets, anything where I mean, tennis rackets can break with kind
Yeah.
of with
Yeah.
kind of force that or loads that are put in those the
Mhm.
luggages
Yeah.
playing right in those boxes. So
Yeah.
they typically break. So you have to carry a tennis racket, golf clubs, whatever it is. You have to carry
Yeah.
it in your hand, right, on the plane. They thought it was a weapon.
What?
Yeah, that's a bit of a toughie.
I
No
think it
one's
was
seen
like a club or something.
It's-
No,
it's
a fly swatter. You know those electric flies that are. Bzzz,
Oh,
What are you gonna do?
Oh,
Kill
have
someone
you
with
ever
that?
touched it whilst you keep turned it on?
No, is it a weapon or just a
No,
mild thing?
the things you just get this sort of.
I did it. It's
But
like
it's enough to kill a.
It's enough to kill a small
a
Yeah.
fly, not a human. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, obviously.
it's just gonna be like you were pricked or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
By a
secretly.
prick, yeah.
Maybe secretly the airport security is like the alien species from Rick and Morty that are like flies, and they're all like wearing like human disguise. He's got that weapon.
They're allergic to fly swatters.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Hyperbola, you have an interest in math, right?
I wonder if Hyperbola has an interest in math. I'm
that's why
very
we're asking.
curious.
Yeah, it does.
That's right.
If the name didn't give it away, I'm a little bit interested in math. But I'm
We
actually
did
more of a
conic
stat-
sections, and I learned about Hyperbola. And
Yeah.
Isn't
Do
there
you
a player called
guys
Concept?
know what
yeah,
hyperbola is?
yeah, the guy who
Yeah,
hacked VSC.
It's not a,
No,
it's
no, no.
not a circle.
No, do you know? So
Yeah, x squared minus y squared equals 1, essentially.
yeah.
Well, you can you can divide x
Over-
squared and
over
y
a
squared.
AB.
Hyperbola, are they same as hyperbolics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
So do you know how the kind of history about them? I'm sorry, I'm butting in here. Is that okay?
yeah.
No,
that's
it's fine. Go ahead,
Don't
go
worry
ahead.
about this.
So if you go to the docks, for example, you go to Bassi or whatever, and you'll see, like obviously along the river they'll put these little, they don't want anyone falling in, so they put these, these long, well not
Aren't
not
they?
long,
Are they curved?
Yeah, they're curved.
Yeah.
So they're curved. But if you
Yeah.
have chains,
Uh-huh.
right, and chains, they'll form like a smiley face, right?
Yeah.
That
A
shape.
catenary.
Yeah. So no, that shape. Yeah, a catenary. Sorry. Yeah.
Mhm.
That shape is a hyperbola.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I think there was I heard one of my old teachers. He said to me a question that Amazon once asked their
Mhm.
potential new
Yeah.
employees
Yes.
was to find the distances on a hyperbola. So they had a hyperbola.
Yeah.
They wanted to know the depth of it. So it was that
Mhm.
sort of stuff. So no, hyperbolas very handy. And
I
The-
think hyperbolic positioning, you can find an object if you have 3 points. Hyperbolic positioning is handy as well. Parabolas are also really cool too, like how satellite dishes work, because
Yeah.
how
They have a focus in them.
they send out signals to one part of the parabola and it just bounces off at a right angle. It's super cool.
Talking about like
talk a
London.
bit about that. I didn't.
I'm not too familiar.
Parabola by
Maybe strike
Gorling?
the notes.
Gorling.
In London, right? You were talking about the docks, right?
Yeah.
There's a big cathedral, St. Paul's Cathedral, very famous dome.
That is
The
a-
dome, it looks like it's got two like hemispheres, like a regular dome, but actually the two hemispheres in the middle, there's a volumetric like catenary, right? There's like a hyperbola hidden between them, because they realize that the dome shape, an actual sphere, is not going to support the weight. So it's like a
Yeah.
secret hidden like hyperbola that no one can see, but that's what the actual dome of the St. Paul's Cathedral is.
Yeah.
See.
Another weird thing I learned like that is that parabolas, you can actually multiply with them. Like if you go to if you go to like the left and then the right and you see the points and then you join them with a straight line, it will cross the y-axis as at the multiplication of those two numbers or something like that. It's like really crazy. I don't even know how it works still. But.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, so I do a bit of maths at university, and all maths is built on what we call analysis and linear algebra. This is just it's just sort of like the general consensus, right?
Yeah.
If only Medius was here right now.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Medius.
yeah.
Medius is like.
You know Medius.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Medius. You've heard of
he's
him
the
before,
math
right?
guy knows like 3,000 digits.
Mensa or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we literally
Yeah.
talked about him in the pizza store today.
Pizza store.
Did we?
Yes, we were talking about Mensa,
Very
don't you?
briefly.
We were talking
Yeah.
about Mensa. We were,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but Yeah, so Medius is like really into math, probably more than you actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying about analysis and?
So analysis and linear algebra or algebra are kind of like the basis of all maths. Anything else is, a definition. So we define parabolas to be f equals x minus a all squared plus b. That's just the general form. Right?
Yeah.
And the properties of that are kind of astounding because all you've done is you've taken a couple of rules, you put them all together, and you get 5 or 6 other properties which are incredible. And when you apply certain things to these laws, you get other laws. I think Strikewind here has got some.
No, I was just showing them
the
parabola
multiplication trick.
Okay.
Where you basically go on the x-axis -3, and then you go 4, right? If you join up the lines from -3 and 4, a straight line from the parabola, it crosses the y-axis at 12. So that's like 3 times 4 equals 12 using parabola.
It's pretty
I
sick.
think that's pretty easy to prove. I think.
Pretty easy to prove. Okay, let's see afterwards.
Yeah. All right.
All right. What else is going on for math? Deep learning.
Well, I don't think that's strictly maths.
I know it's not.
I mean, it has a lot of statistics. I guess.
Scientists don't really know how deep learning works in a sense. I mean, they aren't really able to track every single thing that the deep learning algorithm does. But I think
it's owned by Google, isn't it? Deep learning.
Deep learning is AI learning method, and I think they're doing something with. I forget what they're called, but it has to do something with the 18th century mathematician? It was Gauss. Yeah. I think they found a way to model they're looking into a way using some sort of plane that Gauss had. It's sort of like a map, and it has bumps and stuff.
Gaussian
curves, yeah.
Gaussian curvature.
Something like that. I think they're trying to model deep learning using that. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it.
Are you talking about the fact that hidden spaces, the hidden layers are like very difficult to see what the computers
like the computers make these computations very, very fast, and a neural network is a very complex sort of thing. We don't really. It's quite shocking how much we don't understand about our own brain.
There's like a new tool called feature space visualization where you can kind of like get a hidden layer, I think, to spit out what it sees. And if you get like one of the intermediate layers, it might like spit out just pictures of dog ears next to each other, and then you realize that's a dog ear layer, or the dog ear nodes in that granularity layer or whatever. So. And there's like some artworks on GitHub, so you can find like artworks where they make feature space visualizations into like art. It's kind of like dreamlike or whatever.
I think there's a website where you can type in a word and an AI will try to create an image based on what word you type in.
Yeah. Strikewind just shared that to me before.
Yeah. I think Google might have done it for Death Corridor or something.
Yeah.
Sent it to me.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, there's like those ones.
Yeah.
The AI thing.
Yeah, I think some other people have made their GD thumbnails with that image alone for whatever the level is.
Sizzy really got into like making AI images for like 10 minutes. So.
Sizzy? Oh yeah, he made try to make a GD, or was it did he develop the GD level bot? Or was that a different project? I think it was a different project because he had, or whoever made that had like 1,000 or 1,200 images of just random GD levels, and they tried to make a GD level from scratch.
What's it called?
It looks good until you like look really closely at it, and then you realize that the gear is like distorted, and then the blocks don't look very good.
I heard that the end art of Lucid whatever, the Kyrox new level is made
Lucid Chaos.
Is that the new Kyrox level?
Lucid Chaos,
like it's not out yet. It's like it's still under development.
Oh, but you heard that
the end art is made with that like
with the
AI thing. Look here.
Let's see.
It's like how did they get that into the game?
There's a hack. There's a hack that like translates like
certain-
images
yeah,
into
PNGs,
Oh, okay.
and then it you
I-
take a big color. It's kind of like Minecraft. They have that in Minecraft as well.
I think Tool is gonna have to do a lot of editing because like we keep showing these like things. Here's like a feature visualization. So this layer probably
So-
has like fine granularity, right? But if you go to one of maybe the end layers, you get something like this where it actually looks like it makes sense.
Yeah.
So these are the various hidden layers and what it spits out, right? And then some of these actually they remind me of like the way that JPEG is compressed as like different like 2D cosine waves, and you basically choose the one that fits.
Everything is a wave, as
Yeah, yeah.
my physicist friend says.
Basically, you just choose
Yeah,
the cosine
essentially.
wave that basically matches that image the best you can, and then you will just use that one. So maybe like in AI they found that
even like
works
matter
well.
has a wave function. Like
It does, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
See,
Wave particle
The
duality.
thing about waves and matter is that, well, look at light, for example. It's matter and a wave, as people kind of
Yeah.
talk about.
wait,
all the
Cinci,
time.
what's your wave function?
What's my wave function?
Yeah.
Sine of x equals 1.
40%.
Wow.
40%.
One really? So there, like you have no. Wow. Okay.
It's 40%.
You're not
Like
you're not affected by quantum mechanics.
I'm the only person here, or only thing here, not affected by quantum mechanics. I'm a stable guy,
Wow. Okay.
It's
or gal.
maybe it's just 40% because that's the innards wave. Maybe his wave function is just 40%.
Yeah.
Innards wave is at 40.
Yeah.
think
Well,
it's
I mean,
okay.
there's multiple waves in the level, but
But
like,
like the most famous one is at 40.
yeah. Cinci would know that.
Let's see.
Since it does not.
Well, anyway,
Level-
is there
Oh,
anything
yeah.
that you wanna plug, Hyperbola? Like
Plug?
any like projects you've worked on that you wanna talk about?
For people who have made it this far, I previewed this, but I will I will confirm.
Not many. Like
I will.
I think we should say that here on out before we say
yeah.
it.
To
And
our-
for those of us who are still here.
to the two
Yeah.
remaining viewers
I will
listening.
definitely. Yeah. So for those people who made it this far, I might as well just confirm that yes, I am decorating Trusta's buff of Theory of Everything 2, and I'm making a ton of balance and gameplay adjustments.
He's gonna verify, right?
I'm not gonna verify it. Trusta is.
No, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Trust is gonna. That's what I'm gonna say. to you.
Yeah, so look out for that. It's really exciting. I think I'm about 60% done with all the decoration of the first draft, and then I'll probably send it off to my friends like Iris, Real Vet, CD Music to have them review. Maybe I'll send it to some level critics like Blitzer, Bacco, or Cinci. Maybe be prepared for that.
Get ready.
I'm right here, brother.
So.
Yeah, now you're sounding more like Cinci.
So yeah,
British accent, yeah.
And then I'm probably going to have to finish to the end of time at some point, and I probably need to get in contact with the people at the hardest levels list, because I think there's a large discrepancy with the allowed physics on the list. Because so when I was creating to the end of time, I obviously thought take the maximum length, take the maximum FPS possible, take the most inputs that you can possibly do. But there's a big problem to that, because we play GD on monitors, and monitors use light rays to transmit information to our eyes, to our brains, and light only travels at a certain speed. So when you put it at any FPS higher than 299,000, this, or whatever the theoretical speed of light is nowadays, then it won't be possible. You would either get a blurry mess, your monitor would probably explode, or you would need to find some way to
I think it would
process-
explode before you even got like
process
close to that
tachyons.
number.
Yeah, because you need like infinite energy to transmit that. I mean,
that's part of the
Yeah, but
difficulty of the
throwing-
level.
I thought
Yeah,
I
but
thought you were talking about
throwing,
GD
but
physics, not
but,
real physics.
but I'm talking, but
No,
I'm
but he's-
talking, but throwing energy out the window for a second. Throwing energy out the window for a sec. Assuming that we have infinite energy to work with, FPS wouldn't work in the real world, because I based my level off of Planck times, which is the smallest possible which is the
It's
smallest
called the
possible
smallest
unit of
unit
time.
of time,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the smallest unit of time possible. It's the amount of time that it takes light to travel one Planck length.
Okay.
And if you were to compare one Planck length to the size of an atom, it would be bigger than an atom to the or an atom on Earth is bigger or an atom on Earth is bigger than a Planck length on an atom, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Planck lengths are really, 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 really small.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is something I've always thought about. This is a complete aside. So when I'm talking to you guys at the moment, I can see with my own eyes. It sort of appears, or maybe like because light travels a lot faster than sound. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing you, but I'm sort of it appears I'm kind of hearing you at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that sort of just a coincidence, or is that completely not the way it works? I see you.
I mean, if you bounce a basketball across the street, you're gonna notice a delay. Like if you played like.
Yeah, it's only because
or-
we're close, but
Yeah.
like from this close up, you can't tell the difference between. Yeah.
So
your eyes actually have like a delay if you're looking at something dark. So if you put like half of a sunglasses over your eye and spin around, like
I have sunglasses.
you will see that there's a delay from one eye to the other eye because your brain takes longer to process dark images. That's like a way to actually create a fake 3D effect. Like there's a video where you can just put like sunglasses over your eye and then
Well, is that
and then the video is
Oh yeah, my
3D.
sunglasses.
Is that your what? They look like cricket glasses to me.
What are you calling my really cool sunglasses?
They're called. I mean, they look like your.
They're my swag glasses. I wear them all
Are they
the
from
time.
Oakley?
Yeah.
I
You
don't
look
know.
Slay in those. Yeah.
They're not Oakley. I don't know what they
They
are.
Are you sure they're
Yeah.
Oakley?
Oh no, they're FLAC 2.0. I don't know what that
That
means.
looks like a model but there's like an O on the side.
That's not an O, that's like-
someone
that's
is
a
spinning
hyperbola.
around here.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if you can
All right,
necessarily.
here guys.
I mean, you see in
Strikewind is
3D
a fake. Yeah.
You see it in 3D anyways.
Yeah, you
We're
see
not
it
talking
in
about
3D.
it. We're talking about videos.
I mean, it kind of.
No way, I
pops
can
out.
see in
Not really.
3D.
It works.
It's not like It's not like
Well,
it doesn't.
Isn't that sort
It
of?
might work like anaglyph glasses. I actually have a pair of those at home.
Well, isn't that sort of how 3D glasses work?
Yeah,
they take advantage of.
They take
Yeah,
advantage
yeah.
of red and blue,
Yeah.
or red and cyan, not red and
When's the
blue.
last time you saw a movie in 3D?
2011 maybe, or
Yeah,
maybe 2010.
Maybe.
Yeah.
from the 12, 13.
Wait, I've seen the movie in IMAX 3D, but not in anaglyph 3D.
I just
Oh,
you
I
got
talking
the
about-
theaters and it says.
Yeah, I've seen. If it's a theater, so if it's an IMAX movie or with IMAX glasses, which are not very anaglyph, you can. I probably saw one last year in
Okay.
2021.
Anyway, so we probably need to wrap this up soon. So I wanted to go into the final question,
The final question.
which was from our previous guest, Euphem,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Euphem asked, how many fingers am I holding up?
Oh my gosh! I think I might have actually heard that question. This is a tough question. Lucky number 7. I don't know.
Seven?
The answer is
Well,
7.
fingers.
7. So if you ask, a large fraction of our society,
Mhm.
guess a number between 1 and 10.
Random.
They're gonna
number.
say seven.
randomly, like
They're gonna
most
say
of them,
7
I think
or
a
3.
good 40% would say 7
Or
and
3.
then all
Oh,
3.
really?
I didn't think 7 was
I
a
actually
possible-
I guess 3 when I'm supposed, or I actually
Says
I don't
a lot
know
about us
why.
humans. We sort
but
of like things
I guess
to be in the
3.
middle, don't we?
Yeah.
I guess
Or prime.
I guess 3.
Like-
I only
like
guess
ra-
3 because I try to be difficult.
in our
with
in our,
people
in our
and
heads,
say
like
E or
middle
pi,
is
and they both
random.
round to 3.
Sorry?
Like in our heads, like the middle, like the 3 and the 7 seem like the most random because
Exactly.
1 is at the start, so it seems like a generic
Exactly.
option.
I didn't think that 7 was an answer for how many fingers you could hold up because I thought he was holding it with one hand.
Oh, if
Not
he's
sure.
holding up one hand,
Then it's 3.
yes,
3.
I guess it's 3.
Okay, sure.
And then
40% chance
or
you're
maybe
correct.
you know what? Maybe 4 because I'm going opposite.
that was my
So,
guess, but Euphem wouldn't tell me the
Oh,
answer.
yeah, that's also
4.
Yeah.
If it's one hand, then I'm gonna guess 4 because it's the opposite of 7.
Okay, fair enough.
4 in Japanese culture is very unlucky.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
because the way you pronounce 4 in Japanese is really similar to how you pronounce
Death.
Are you sure that's Japanese or is that
So
Chinese?
in
It's Japanese.
Chinese culture, isn't it? 8.
Is
very unlucky.
death she in Chinese?
I don't know.
Something, I don't know. Well,
Shang-Chi.
anyway,
Shang-Chi, she.
San, Oh.
Because in Japanese, the kanji shi is for death.
Anyway, what is your question for the next guest, though?
Oh, in the
Did you-
entire hour, I didn't figure out a single question.
Look, it doesn't have to be anything that
Is
crazy.
it random? Not seven. Question.
Let me see. Let me think of a question.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Let me think. I really need to think of a question.
How many sunglasses am I holding up?
No, that's.
How many sevens am I holding up?
Which country are we in right now?
That's that. I don't want it to necessarily be like a straightforward.
What are our
question.
exact coordinates?
The other unstraightforward questions have been really like bad.
Yeah.
Are you happy? That was bad.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, I thought that was an interesting question when I watched that. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Okay, sure.
Ooh, that's my question.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Yes,
look,
that is the question
I'm not even
of the
gonna
next
try.
episode.
I'm just flexing my.
Or wait, I actually have a better question.
Oh, okay.
Scratch that because I already know the answer to that one. It's as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How many licks does it take to get to the center, Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Okay, sure.
There's your question.
There's your question.
Good
Okay.
luck. I think the University of Michigan did a study on this.
Well, like, did they actually find an answer?
I don't think it's definite. It really depends on acidity
Okay,
levels
well,
and stuff.
the-
Maybe you should ask that at the beginning.
The
and see if anyone
the
has a
factual
Tootsie Pop
answer
reference.
will be discovered in the next episode by the next
We
guest.
shall see.
Don't Google it though, whoever you are.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's probably gonna be ice cave.
Oh yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Lovely. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Bye.
All right.
That's all.
See
Bye.
you.
See you.